We're headed east to Blue Shepherd Distillery in Luray, Virginia. Cheers, my friend, and enjoy.
All right, GolfCask Nation, we are here at Blue Shepherd Distillery in Luray, Virginia. This is another GolfCask Roadshow, and we're here with Alex. Alex, give us a little background about Blue Shepherd and kind of how this mad genius started.
All right. So, Blue Shepherd Spirits, we are a Nano Distillery right in the heart of Luray on Main Street. We will be open 4 years to the public come August. Prior to that, we bought this old auto shop warehouse back in 2021. Spent about a year and a half rehabbing it, getting the wonderful oil smell and all the other crazy things they had going on in here out, getting the building back up to code, all that good stuff, and then started applying for all of our federal paperwork. It took about 9 months to get our federal paperwork, 4 months for the state, and 3 months for the town because I forgot about them. So it's a little unnerving when you've got a board that you've got to go before and everybody else has said yes, but maybe they say no. So we definitely had a few disruptions. You know, people didn't quite understand what a distillery was. There is another one about 2 miles away, but they're outside of city limits, so they fall under completely different control. So we did a lot of education, bringing people in, showing them what we were going to do, and then we had been distilling for about 5 months on 2 17-gallon stills before we opened our doors and sold out of everything in first 2 weekends.
Oh, nice.
So it was a great problem to have. We started with vodka, gin, and rum. We then bucked up and got the big girl behind me here. That makes things a lot easier. She's a 120-gallon Bain Marie style hybrid still, so she can be run as a pot still or a column still. So pretty much everything we do is distilled 5 times. Right now we do a corn vodka, we do a lemon Carolina Reaper vodka, gin, lavender gin, a spiced rum, a barrel-aged rum. We just added apple brandy to our lineup. Then we've got our one and only, Page County's only agave spirit, tequila. Can't call it tequila because it doesn't come out of Mexico.
Yeah.
Then we've got our bourbon, rye, and single malt whiskey.
But you can carry bourbon where Mexico can, so it's
Correct.
so
Correct. It's a good trade-off because we were definitely.
our government putting name restrictions. The U.S. does it as well.
We put the agave in the barrel too, right? It's a,
Oh yeah, it's a reposado finished in our ex-whiskey barrels.
Yep.
So it's literally 100% organic blue agave, a little water, a little yeast. That's actually a tub right there that's fermenting off right now. So hopefully we'll be able to get it in the still later this week.
Nice.
Finish it up, throw it in a barrel, and let it sit and do its thing.
Awesome. So my number one question I ask everybody is, why did you get into this distilling? Because
why the hell?
usually I say, why the fuck did you get it? You know, but why did you get into distilling? Because there's so many obstacles. But why did you start distilling?
Yes, so this is definitely not a business I would recommend to anyone. It's more of a labor of love than something that you're going to get rich off of.
Yes.
So I was military first, then a firefighter, and I've always kind of been a DIY guy. I like to build everything myself, try and build it bigger, better, all the good things. So I've made beer, wine, mead, cider, all in small batches at home.
Yep.
But the second you bring even a tiny little Amazon still into your house in our wonderful state of Virginia, you're looking at misdemeanor and possibly felony charges if you got mashed to go in that. We're still the moonshine capital of the world to this day, and that's why ABC has their own enforcement, and that's what they go out and do, and find people distilling, not so much anymore, but definitely we still operate under Prohibition era terms. So the goal was to do this when I retired from firefighting, but I ended up early retiring after 9 years from Fairfax County. After COVID, you know, the job just got to be a bit of a bear, and then my uncle passed away at 45 of a second heart attack. We don't have the greatest health history, so it's kind of like, well, you're gonna do something dumb, you might as well do it while you're young. And much to my wife's chagrin, when I told her I was leaving my big city job and my nice paycheck, here we are.
How does she like Luray?
Oh, loves Luray. We love being out here. We've been out here for...
Stumble and fall in the Shenandoah Valley, to be honest. I'm Shenandoah Valley born and raised, so I love the area. It's hard to go wrong when you stumble down here.
It's just beautiful. There's no traffic. Like, what I couldn't stand about Northern Virginia was you want to go 3 miles down the road and it's a 30-minute journey to get there. No matter what time of the day, you're hitting stoplights. And out here, I can go anywhere at any time. There's no traffic. It's peaceful. I do miss the food options, though. That's the one thing we lack.
Yes, that's fair. Population.
Yes, for sure.
Population constraints. So I see sitting on top of the shelf over there, it looks like there's a old 5-gallon maybe, and
Yes, so that was our first still that we ever bought to play around with. Not a lot of controls on there. You're kind of heating it on your oven or with a hot plate. And you get about 2 mason jars worth of semi-usable liquor on a good day.
semi-usable.
So we kind of use it as a, like, if we're going to test out something new before we go big.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 stills up there were essentially, they're Brewzillas, so they're made to brew beer, but then you can put still tops on them. And that's what we ran all our liquor on for about 5-6 months.
Okay.
And they work really well. You can control the temps really well, but they burn a lot and you ruin a lot of liquor if it's got any sort of sediment in there.
Yeah.
And I really like to distill on grain. So that's the beauty of this one. It's electrically heating an oil bath. It's then heating the product inside. You get a big auger, so it's always moving, so you don't burn anything.
Gotcha.
The second you burn your liquor, the whole batch is trash.
You can't survive or come back from that.
No.
So how soon, speaking to the Virginia thing you were talking about and having a still, can you buy to experiment, but the minute you want to sell, you have to be?
So in the wonderful state of Virginia, just having that still in your house is a misdemeanor.
That's what I was wondering.
If you have mash to go into it, is a felony offense.
Steps up quick.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And if I'm not mistaken, Virginia law, there could be forfeiture of property and stuff if
Oh yeah.
the still is.
If they find your still, they have to disable that still on the spot.
Yeah.
So they're essentially breaking it.
You have to get some type of legal authority, approval, licensing, something to even buy the still.
Yes.
Nobody's going to buy a still just because they like it sitting on the shelf, or at least most people aren't.
There was some big federal changes that were coming down to enact being able to distill small batches in your house. But I don't know where that comes to.
If we smoke a little bit of marijuana legally, nowadays, we ought to be able to do a little bit.
Exactly. I think
The government gets their taxes right.
I'm all YouTube and book trained. I didn't have a cool story like my grandpappy did it out in the creek out back, and I learned that way. Distilling is definitely something, if you are going to get into it, you need to look at the safety aspects, because if one thing goes wrong, you essentially have a giant flammable bomb.
Yes.
So those have no safeties built in. This one's got a lot of safeties for overpressures and things built in.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to look at. Don't
How experimental batches did it take out of the little one to find something that was drinkable?
honestly, not many. It was more. Take our apple brandy, for instance. I've never drank any brandy. Bourbon, tequila, those are kind of my go-tos. Vodka is vodka. I kind of went out and I bought all the other apple brandies I could find and tasted them to kind of figure out what I liked, and then researched how they're kind of doing it so that we could not copy it, because it's never going to be the exact same, but come out with something similar that fits my palate. All of our liquor is built to my palate. So if you like a good London dry gin, you're not going to like our gin. It has just enough juniper to be called gin, and then tons of citrus in the back end, little elderberry for sweetness.
I hate juniper. I hate gin, but now you tell me you have a gin that doesn't have a lot. Now I'm like, I might have to try that.
As long as it tasted.
It's a very New World style take on gin. If you don't like gin, you'll probably like our gin. And this is Kaya.
Make your showing.
She's our meter greeter extraordinaire, my little shadow. It's all named after Bruce. He is a big, long-haired, blue German Shepherd that came to us after he became human aggressive to anyone outside of his pack. And somehow me and my wife got in the weird world of dealing with human aggressive and dog aggressive dogs. So we take them in, rehab them, put them back out. We don't do too much of that anymore now that I run a business because there's just no time to do anything. Yeah. But we do foster mastiffs. So we've got 6 dogs in our house currently. If anyone's looking for mastiffs, let me know.
They're wonderful lap dogs.
They are.
Don't read up on them. Just All right. So, of your whiskeys, again, we're kind of a whiskey group. I enjoy tequila as well, but overall,
Barrel soaked tequila, I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah,
I brought one back from Mexico once, a mezcal that did barrel soaked. It's got me intrigued with that one.
So kind of give us a breakdown on your bourbon and your rye, and give us a background on your whiskeys.
Yeah, absolutely. So our bourbon is 70% corn, 20% rye, 10% malted barley.
Okay.
Bit of a high rye mash bill, just enough to get a little bit more peppery in there, but plenty of corn to get that sweetness. We strip run it all, then we do a finish run through the still, comes out. We have to can't distill bourbon if you know too much, over 160 proof. And this still at full bore capacity is pumping out about 190 proof liquor. So we have to tone down our condenser so that we're not getting that high. And then we'll cut it down to about 123 proof before it goes into the barrels.
Okay.
We have been using 10 and 15 gallon barrels. We just bucked up and started using the 53s. Smaller barrels, more surface area, faster aging. Our philosophy is we're putting a premium liquor in, so we're not waiting on time to purify that so much as just get the barrel flavor in there as good as we can. Right now, we're at about a year with all these barrels. As we get older, they constantly get older. So you're looking at about 4 years with a barrel age coming in.
Okay.
Looking at with the big, now that you're moving to the bigger, are you looking to put stuff out there and let it get a little more age now with that? Yeah.
So that is the goal. We really struggled to get small barrels of quality. There's not a lot of makers that will do it. Then we went to a distilling conference in Virginia, and Speyside Cooperage was there. Yeah. And they kind of talked us into it, and their price was cheaper than buying one of these little guys. Yeah. So it's like, well, that just kind of makes sense. So I'm very curious to see. We've got 3 barrels filled at the moment. We've also packed them in with, they are number 2 char, number 5 heavy toast. Mm-hmm. And then we packed in 5 pounds of heavy toast chips in there as well. And if my calculations are right, we're going to run out of little barrels at about 2 years when we started with the big barrel. Okay. So I'm very curious to see where that's going to be at, and really hope it's right where I want it to be. But we've definitely got...
It will be where it is.
Yes, it will be where it is. It's kind of the gamble we took, and it'll pan out. We're hoping to fill 12 barrels this year and then get up to 24 next year.
Okay.
And then just slowly start sacking them away. Our biggest issue is space at the moment, so we're trying to find a cheap forklift so we can use our vertical space better. We've got 14-foot ceilings. Yeah. Really just get them out of the way and stacked up and let them do their thing.
Yeah, no, that's... How about your rye?
Rye is going to be 52% rye, okay, just over the legal limit. Yeah. I don't like a heavy rye that kind of punches you in the face. All right. Then it's 40% barley and 8% corn.
Okay.
So it's a very pleasant rye. All right. It drinks really nice. We've gotten a lot of praise on it. I personally hate working with rye. It kind of turns me.
I wanted to say it. You have on your website. I read on there you said hoped to be a one and done. So I was going to let you finish your diet, and then I was going to listen. Okay, tell me why it's not a one and done.
So
nobody else likes working with rye.
Rye kind of gelatinizes itself, no matter how much high temp amylase you put in there. It's still kind of working with oatmeal. Yeah. And it's not easy to move. We just recently got pumps, and they can move it, but they don't like moving it. Yeah. So the goal was, after my first one, I was like, okay, maybe it'll just be terrible and we'll never have to worry about it. But people loved it, and I was like, oh, great. So then we just have to keep making it. And, you know, it's just it's just kind of part of the game, you know?
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah,
It's good though. We like rye. We do enjoy a good rye, so we're excited to test it.
That's funny. But yeah, every distiller says the same thing. Rye is just so hard to work with. It's
It's crazy.
And then, what was it? We were with Ragged Branch, and they talked about they feed the cows. I'm like, cows, and then when they do, the meat was actually starting to take on kind of that rye.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was very interesting. He was just like, so yeah,
They don't do it. It's like it's rare for them to do it.
it's pulling way back from rye.
Yeah.
Now, they do a lot of wheated bourbons, but yeah, it's very interesting. No, so give us an idea of when a new person comes to Blue Shepherd. We'll walk around and show the tasting area, but what can they kind of expect to see when they visit?
Yeah, absolutely. So our big thing is kill everyone with kindness. So the second you walk in the door, you're going to be greeted. Then your next question is going to be, have you been in before if we don't recognize you as a regular?
Yeah.
And then we're going to give you a full rundown of our operations. We're going to show you the still. We're going to tell you our grains come from 2 miles down the road, and then walk you through each of our spirits on the bar. From there, depending on what you want, we can either do tastings of our spirits, or we change our full cocktail menu every month with whatever's fresh and in season. The cocktails are really what keeps the business open. We don't make enough bottles to distribute.
Yeah.
So we really just make enough for us. It's the only place you can get our products. We can ship within the state of Virginia, but everybody else is just kind of out of luck.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we've got a food truck out front that does smash burgers, loaded fries, all sorts of craziness. My mother runs that. I run the distillery, and it's like a perfect pairing.
Nice. So you do a lot of cocktails. So what's your best cocktail? You said you changed monthly?
Monthly.
Okay, so what's your number one cocktail this month?
This month, I would go between the bourbon mojito or the kiwi quencher with our vodka.
Okay.
Those two are super hot sellers.
Nice. All right, so we have a magazine, and I've started reaching out to different people to kind of display their favorite cocktail. So we have a magazine coming up in September. You want to do September's cocktail a month?
Oh, absolutely. That'd be great.
Perfect.
That would be great.
And it can be the mojito, or you can say, man, this is the one. We'll give you a full page.
Okay.
Actually, we'll give you two. So we'll give you one, give us the background of the whiskey, then the cocktail, and then a page with a nice photograph of the drink with Blue Shepherd, and then basically how to make it.
Yeah.
Like the ingredients list. It's perfect. Yeah. So sold.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So no, I think that's great because it's funny. I'm a neat whiskey drinker, but I got into whiskey with cocktails. My wife and I during COVID started drinking a lot of cocktails, started pulling back on the
They needed to
sweeteners.
figure out a way to make sure they liked each other.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Yeah, so we introduced lots of bourbons in the house. Like too many bourbons, as my wife says. So from that, but we've actually circled back and we've started doing a lot more different cocktails.
Yeah.
Did a Black Manhattan last night. It was wonderful. So we're starting to, so I think it'd be a really cool feature to show distillers what they think makes a really good cocktail. So perfect. We'll do that. So we'll go do a tasting here in a minute, but we'll close this little sit down out real quick. Just give us again where you're at, where they can find you, and why Blue Shepherd.
Yeah, absolutely. So Blue Shepherd Spirits, we're a Nano Distillery right in the heart of Luray, Virginia. You can find us on all of the different socials. We post every day. You can find us on our website, blueshepherdspirits.com. You can also get all of our merch there too. Glasses, bottles, if you're in the state of Virginia, all that fun stuff. And yeah, come find and enjoy some spirits that still have the distiller's fingerprint on them. There's a lot of big distilleries don't have that.
I agree with that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Alex.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
It's a
it.
pleasure.
Absolutely. And again, make sure when you're in Luray, Virginia, I'm Blue Shepherd.